thank you for visiting our channel. And today we have a very special guest. His name is Caleb Issiah. He wears many hats: entrepreneur, music producer. He has a great story to share with us, and I'm so excited to learn more about him. And I know you guys are going to love this video. And without further ado, I will let Caleb introduce himself.
What's the word? Yo, what's up, man? Man, thank you for having me, Eric, man. My boy, man. Yes, I'm here, Caleb Issiah Porter.
Yep.
Uh, that's really name my first two names. Yeah, man. I'm here, man. Thank you for having me. It's an honor, bro, to be on your podcast, man, to be recognized as a young entrepreneur here in Chicago. And man, I'm ready to speak. I'm ready to chill. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to answer whatever questions. I'm ready to give any advice, any type of encouragement, guidance that I can. And let's get it going, man.
Definitely. So, if you can tell us, who was young Caleb when he was a kid? So, who were you when you were growing up and everything?
So, so young Caleb, man, I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie The Rascals, but I'm like a real definition of like one of the young rascals, man. I grew up with a bunch of friends always around me. I come from a single parent household. I was raised with my mother. So certain different type of companionship that I was looking for like a father figure, I found within my friends in my neighborhood, my community around me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that led to get into the type of activities that young kids running around fatherless get into, right?
Right.
But all in all, I've always been a man of community. I've always been a person who's valued the next person's feelings, their thought process, or their whole understanding of life the same way how as I value mine. You know what I'm saying? I've never been one to feel as if I was too big or too out of touch with anybody or any situation. I've
Right.
always been a man of the community. So young Caleb, man, was a young rascal who was riding for the game.
Right. I feel you on that. And you speaking about humble, and that will bring me to my next question because I believe, right, like I know you personally as well, and like based on the person you are and all the achievements you have so far, you're still a humble person. And so my question to you, do you believe entrepreneurship or leadership is more about being humble and not just letting the success, the money, the glory get into your head?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Humility is at the core and at the center of being a leader, right? Because the only way you can be a leader, right? So this was somebody just told me. Literally, one of my old employees, she had reached out to me and we were talking, and she said, Caleb, it's hard to get people to listen, but it's even harder to get people to want to understand what you're saying, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to get people to do what I want them to do, right? But if
Right.
I'm a humble leader where I can make sure that I can lower myself down to any situation with anybody and talk to them on a realistic level, eye to eye, and not give them the impression I think I'm better than myself, then that relationship will always go better, right?
Right.
Because anybody who's not in the same position as me, they'll think like, well, damn, I'm not in the same position as Caleb, but at least he knows. At least he can get it. At least he can take off one of those hats. He can come down here with the common folk. Because at
Right.
the end of the day, I know what it's like to not have the success. I know it's like to be struggling, to be on your way up, and I didn't like when people used to try to quote unquote shit on me. Excuse my French, but I never do nothing like that, man. You have to be humble. You know,
That's
you can
def
fall tomorrow.
right. And that's really definitely very true. And so, if I may ask you, why entrepreneurship and not maybe a 9 to 5 job? So entrepreneurship is not easy. A lot of people don't last long in it. So, why did you decide entrepreneurship and not maybe get a regular job, which is maybe easier?
Because so I done the regular job thing, right? I think I had my first job when I was like 16, 15. I've had every job under the sun. I was a telemarketer. I worked in fast food. what the fuck else did I do? I've eventually it eventually landed me to work in politics, where I think that was my longest standing 9 to 5 type of job. But I've always been the type of person that my mom used to always tell me, son, you have $1 million taste. You know what I'm saying? With like a bum's work ethic. I was the type of nigga I wanted nice things in life without having to break all the sweats. I don't want to have to break my back in order for me to get a Gucci belt. I don't want to
Right.
have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it wasn't until I was working maybe like my 4th year into politics where I began to see that, hey, this route that I'm working on isn't going to get me to where I really want to be. You know what I'm saying? I just started thinking about it logically from a business standpoint. If I was the CEO of a company, would I ever pay one of my employees enough money where eventually they can overthrow me? No, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do that, right? So once you understand that concept, you get to understanding like, okay, well, I'm really just a pawn in the grand scheme of whatever company that I'm working for if I'm not one of the heads of that company.
De-
So at that point, so I told myself, man, I gotta do this shit the entrepreneur way.
Definitely. And I think I like the idea of if you own a company, you are not going to be willing to pay your employee the same amount of money where you can come overtake you. But
Exactly.
so entrepreneurship, right? It's all good. A lot of people, like I know, like 90% of people, they don't love their jobs. They don't, but they wish they can quit, but they don't know how to start, right? So will you say entrepreneurship is easy, or will you say it's something that is not for everyone? So it's something that you need to have the will, the drive, because sometimes people, entrepreneurs, they speak about like it's easy, but will you say something that it's not for everyone?
So this, right? It's all about this, right? It's about the amount of faith that you have with yourself and with the higher power, right? If you have little faith, then yeah, it's gonna seem hard. But if you have a great amount of faith, and if you are always counting your blessings every way, every step along the way, then it's gonna feel easy. You can be like, shit, it could have been a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
Any roadblock that gets in your way, you know that it could be worse, right? I have a friend who always tells me this, Caleb, it could be always be worse. There's some people who lose their eyesight. There's some people who are blind. Imagine trying to be an entrepreneur and you blind. And you gotta have everybody count your money. You have to have everybody look at your ideas. You don't
Right.
even know because you are blind. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's all about a mindset, right? This is the thing. This is another thing somebody else told me, right? They said being broke is hard and getting rich is hard. Choose your hard.
I love that. You gotta choose your heart. I love that. So
Choose your hard.
it's not more about, it's just about the mindset, and that's really very
Okay.
powerful. And that brings me to my next question. You are currently a political consultant and a musician.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
if you can, so a lot of people might not know what a political consultant is. So if you can just explain to us a little bit what that is and what that entails.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to let y'all know weed is legal, so I'm doing what I can do.
Oh yeah, guys. So we in Illinois, weed is legal. So
Weed is legal. Just let y'all know.
so
But
definitely.
um, secondly, so a political consultant. It's basically what I do is I give advice to certain candidates or political organizations that need help, that need that advice, right? So if, for example, if somebody's trying to run for mayor, and if they need 300 kids on the west side of Chicago to go and knock doors and let folks know who this person is and why they're running for mayor, then they'll call somebody like me. Instead of them going out and firing 300 people, they say, hey, Caleb, we know the type of work that you do. We know that you know 300 kids who you can round up within a day or two and get them to go over there and do what we need to do.
Right.
So that's basically what I do, right? I help consult with different political strategies, with different political tactics, in helping to elect candidates or pass different legislation.
Definitely. And so, how would someone get into it? Because I believe you can't just wake up and say you want to be a political consultant. Like, you need some connections, you need to know people in the industry. So, what advice will you give for someone who wants to get into political consulting?
So I said you could wake up and say you want to do anything, right? You could always wake up and say you want to do anything, but it takes the groundwork, just like anything else, right? I
Mm-hmm.
started doing politics by volunteering. I didn't start doing this because they gave me a check. I started doing this because I wanted to change my life. I wanted to get into this, so I said, "Hey, I'm gonna volunteer my time for free to find out what it's all about." If you build good relationships, if you compose the same morale, same principles, and the same character throughout your whole time, then you'll only gain respect. You'll only gain, of the respectable constituents that you require, because real is always gonna recognize real. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what year we're in. Real is always gonna recognize real. So as long as you put in the groundwork and you don't compromise your initial values, morals, or just way of political viewing, then shit, you can do whatever you want to do. You know.
Right. So you will advise that a good way to get into it is by starting by volunteering, doing free
Volunteer,
work
exactly, for sure, for sure.
to,
Volunteering, for sure.
to get the work. All right, got it. And so we shall dive into your musical career, but before, please tell us about your past experience working with different political organizations.
Mm. So I started off in Chicago, working in politics, which is cool. I started off registering people to vote. That was my main thing. I was registering people to vote, and then after that, I quickly switched over to prison reform, because I have been a victim of like being wrongfully accused, wrongfully convicted of certain crimes that should have been knocked down or should have been dismissed or whatever. So I started working in these different sectors of politics. With different organizations like the People's Lobby, Chicago Votes. I've even worked with Chance, the rappers organization, Social Works, and then we're on the up and up. BYP, We Charge Genocide, all these different organizations in Chicago. And after a while, me personally, I just began to feel that I need to expand my skill set elsewhere, right? That I had did what I could do in Chicago, but I also want to take on national issues, right? That concerned us just not as a city, but also as a nation.
Right.
I want to go and help, my brothers in Georgia, my brothers in North Carolina, my brothers in Dallas, Texas. I started joining all these different organizations such as the ACLU, Docs Without Borders, the NRDC, and I started doing different progressive campaigns just based on whatever issue that was going on at the time or in
Right.
that area. And yeah, it was cool, man. It was a great experience. I met a lot of great people. I made a lot of good connections. I don't regret it all. I was lit.
No, definitely. And will you think, because since I know you mentioned about voting, and will you advise like encourage every young people to go vote? So will you encourage everyone to go
I
vote
would, I would,
and
I would encourage all young folks to do the due diligence on the whole political system, right? I
mm-hmm.
feel like voting is good. I feel like voting matters in certain capacities. Voting matters in certain capacities. That's just a fact. On a local level, you really can't change things in your neighborhood by voting. On a national level, you need to do your research. You need to be able to rub shoulders with the right folks. That's just the reality of it.
So you will say, do your due diligence. Don't just vote based on emotions. Vote based on if this person can actually deliver the work.
Vote based on political intellect.
Got it.
Do your research. Why YouTube is the free university.
Right.
Do research.
Definitely. All right, and that brings. So I know you left the political field for a while, and you left that, and you moved to be a club promoter. So
Yeah.
before, what made you leave? Because you're back again as a political consultant. But what made you leave the political field for a while, and why the switch from
So what made me
political? Mm-hmm.
first is because I was working for another organization. The difference is now is that I'm my own CEO of my own political consulting firm. I have my own firm that I create all the rules. I'm the boss, right? I have
Right.
other agents who work under me, but at the end of the day, can't nobody tell me the way to consult on the way to advise what I feel like should happen socially with my people. And before that was the difference. Before the difference was that I was moving on somebody else's agenda. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like the end goal might be to save these kids, but if we have to go lie to somebody, steal from somebody else, and then beat somebody else up before we go save these kids, I don't think that that's really the right way to do it, right? So that's just an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an example. I'm just throwing that out there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the reason why I left politics alone at first, because the way that justice was being not even justice, the way that socially we were being connected with one another wasn't in the fashion that I would have liked. And so I left it alone, and I started working in the clubs because I needed a mental break. You know, anybody who works in a capacity um such as I did, dealing in the political world, knows that it gets extremely stressful, mentally, spiritually, physically. It deteriorates you, you know, because you're giving your all into a campaign or into a candidate, and you put your body and your mental health on the back burner because you have deadlines and you have goals and you have things that you need to reach. So like at the end of the day, you're just on the back burner,
Right.
you know. So I left that alone. I went to do club promoting, because club promoting is all about having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like just getting back into who I am, dancing in the club and taking, you know, that's who I
Right.
am. Young
Def-
man, I'm in my 20s.
exactly. Mm-hmm. And how was that experience to you? Will you say that was a valuable experience to you?
Extremely, extremely. Both of them were. Because it just taught me that, you know, I was only in club promoting for like 3 months. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 months. It wasn't a long time. Um, and it just let me know that that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? It let me know that I can have fun in the club, but that's not my passion. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? So it was an extremely valuable experience.
Right. And you mentioned about passion. So a lot of people are going, will you advise follow your passion or follow the money? What will you advise?
I always say follow your passion. Your passion can make you the money. If you follow the money, man, you're gonna find yourself in a sticky situation, because
Right.
all good money. My mom used to tell me, you don't take every gift that somebody gives to you. Just
Right.
because somebody give you something, you don't take that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it is, you don't know what's attached to that. So all money isn't good money. If you follow money, man, you following the love of money. And the Bible says the love of money is what?
Is the root of all evil.
With all evil.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I really love that because it seems you're a person of value after all. So you seems you are, if it doesn't align with your value, you're not willing to compromise.
No, because you know what? At one point in time, I didn't have nothing. I was still the man to my people. You know what I'm saying? Like this doesn't make me.
Mm-hmm.
Like once upon a time, I didn't have nothing. I was still valuable to my people. Like I was like I come from a circle of love and kinship, where I still felt value even when I didn't have anything. So I didn't need to get money to feel like I had value. I already knew I've been that man's. You know, I already knew my value. I already knew my mom's been telling me, son, you have a light. You're gonna be the next whatever. Since I was fucking 3, since I could hear, since I could comprehend what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? So this shit don't make me or break me, and it won't break me, you know?
Definitely. And I mean, I love, and exactly that's the whole purpose of this podcast, by the way. And for you, you had the your mom tell you all this word of affirmations, but some people don't have that, and they look to people maybe like me, maybe like you, with this word of affirmations that you can be anything you believe you can be. So that's extremely powerful, and kudos to that. So let's move now to your music career, and I see you currently in your studio. So what kind of music do you do? So if you can just explain that to us.
So man, so for like the common general folks, it'll be hip hop, rap. You know what I'm saying? But for folks who are more avid listeners of the culture, it's conscious bop music. It's something that you could bop to, still have a conscious spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you're gonna be able to rock with, listen to, but at the end of the day, it's not a send off message. A lot of music that's being created now, they got send off messages. And when I say send off, it's sending you off to go do the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? The type of music that I listen to, the type of music that I make rather, is you're gonna listen to it and you might go back and reevaluate some stupid shit you did and be like, man, that wasn't the right move. Maybe I need to call this person to make it better. Or maybe I need to start doing what I need to do to make it better on a day to day because the way that Caleb just put these words together, I kind of don't feel proud of even this my way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm doing. I'm challenging the mind frame, the mindset, through bopish vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming with no 90s ass vibe. I'm coming with the vibe of right now. But when you listen to what I'm saying, you're gonna be like, oh, so he's saying being a street nigga isn't cool? No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? You need to go get you an education to do something with your life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, but it's gonna sound boppish. You feel me? But don't get me wrong, I'm not shunning away from my past and everything that I've done. I'm also giving you the reflections of, my experiences of me being a so-called street nigga and what that has gotten me and the type of relationships that have mended and been broken throughout all of it. So I'm giving you the sugar spice and everything nice.
So you say your music is like kind of like a Tupac kind of rap, like Tupac, Jay-Z kind of conscious rap,
Oh,
something like that.
so that'll be an honor to even have, you know what I'm saying, you comparing it to that. But most definitely those are some of my biggest influences for sure.
Definitely. And so, like especially in Chicago, with the rise of trap music, trap rap, trap music and all that. So do you believe music should be used as a tool to influence people? Because I know now that some musicians will just do it for the money and they will just sing anything that is hit. Or do you believe music should just be, you choose what kind of music you want to listen, or you can listen to anything and based on how your mind is set up, you can choose what actions you want to do based on the music you listen.
Right. So you say, give me the question one more time, Brosky.
So do you believe music should be used as a tool to influence people? So, that's as you mentioned, that's some music that is a send off where we send you to do like crazy
Right,
things.
right.
And so what will you tell to those listen to that kind of music? Because like there's some people who just listen to that music just to vibe, right? But there's some other people who listen to that and actually do the things that is said in those kind of music. So what advice will you give to those kind of people?
So my thing is like I can't tell none of those kind of people because I listen to the same music. It's all about what you. It's all about self-identifying with who you are.
Mhm.
Because you listen to something doesn't mean that you have to mimic it and self-identify with that. Know who you are, and just know what's for you and know what's for not. Because I can't tell all people who listen to that music not to. Because there's some people who were born and trapped into that life, and they really do live that, bar none, because that's how they that's literally just how they coming. And then
Right.
there's some people who they really come from good homes. They really come from parents who loved them and tried to show them a better way and didn't put these type of distractions in front of them. And they're running to this. And I can't tell them nothing neither.
Right.
Because life is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell would I be on here trying to tell any shorty or anybody to do anything? Because I knew when I was young, I'll look at anybody try to tell me to do something, I'll be like, get your goofy ass out. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I can't tell nothing. I can't tell nobody that. I just say, man, just be you. Whoever that version is of you right now, just be you. And just see where that gets you. You know what I'm saying? Think about what you want to be you, and see how far that gets you.
Definitely. And I myself, I listen to all types of music and I appreciate the art, but it just shows each person is free to do what they want to do. So
For
that's
sure.
definitely positive. So, right at the top of your head, what are your three favorite musicians? Like right off the top of your head.
Man,
And it can be you. So,
most, most deaf. I mean, I mean, it's not you said me. I'm gonna have to say me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, me, most deaf, Jay Z. You know,
where
go
else?
put that. You know what I'm saying?
Where else?
If I had to put somebody else, Drake.
That's pretty good. So literally, kind of your music mirrors those kind of musicians, the kind of music you
Yeah,
produce.
yeah. But that's only three or four of them. You know what I'm saying? If I had to like 10, I'd throw Herb in there, Kendrick, I'd throw motherfucking MCs. Let me see. I'd throw Black Thought from the Roots in there. I'd throw MCs like MCs.
Mm-hmm.
I'd throw No Cap in there for motherfucker. What the fuck he from? Alabama. Alabama. But yeah, it's a couple.
Definitely.
Nah, for sure. Pop for sure.
I'm surprised you didn't add any Chicago rapper in there.
I said no. I said Herb. I
Oh
said,
yeah,
but
that's a help. Yeah, definitely. Yep. All right.
I'm,
So
I'm like lyricist. Like I fuck with Dirk as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with bro, but I'm talking about like rapping, rapping. You feel me? Like,
yeah, definitely. So we're moving off a different tangent from music to cryptocurrency, a very hot topic right now. So you are
sure.
also a cryptocurrency investor. So the diversification of wealth. We shall talk about that in a second as well. But so for those who don't know, what is cryptocurrency and how do you get started in cryptocurrency investing?
It's crazy. We just came back from a meeting with my homie about cryptocurrency, about investments in crypto. So basically, cryptocurrency is digital currency, right?
Right.
It's it's taking away the tangibility of currency, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same way, I mean, we've been dealing with it, right? Like when you have a bank account, when you're looking at, however much money you have in your bank account, that's crypto. Little do you know, it's an encrypted figure that represents a dollar amount. All what crypto means, an encrypted, you know what I'm saying, figure of representation of what your dollar is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have all these various different types of cryptocurrencies that can be used for different reasons, and that's what gives them value, so to speak, or the hype around it.
Right. What are your top three cryptocurrencies and why?
Okay, so my top three cryptos right now is Bitcoin for one. Everybody knows why it has the most usage right now. It's booming. It's been booming. It's going to continue to boom. It's like the godfather of cryptos. It's never a bad choice to invest into some Bitcoin just because of like what you're able to use it for now, not just in America, worldwide, not just on the regular internet, but on different servers of the internet that folks don't know about, that niggas who are really getting money know about. Um, and then Ethereum, because Ethereum is kind of right behind Bitcoin in the fact of usage. There are a lot of NFTs NFTs are hitting the market something crazy, and the way that you're able to even post them or trade or buy with them, you have to use Ethereum, which just gives Ethereum that much more value. NFTs are blowing up just off of the originality and singularity that you can get out of each artistic piece, whether it be physical painting art or a sketch or a song or a video, whatever. A lot of people are able to create these one of one images that can never be reproduced or sold or copied, but that the only transaction that can be made with them, only currency that they use is Ethereum.
Right.
So I would say Ethereum, and thirdly, it's kind of hard to say. I'll maybe say you say Ripple.
Ripple? Oh yeah, I had
Yeah,
Ripple. Yep.
let me say Ripple. Ripple is something a lot of people forgot about.
Oh yeah.
It's not on a lot of different platforms for people to access for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I feel like it's gonna be one of those things that's gonna be right there under Bitcoin. You know, I feel like those people over there are working. So yeah, those are my three top joints.
I'm surprised you did not mention Dogecoin.
Nah, I was thinking about it, but after the conversation I just had one of my colleagues,
Well,
just
uh,
as of right now, Dogecoin is just like a short-term investment type of thing.
got it. So it's not more like a long-term event. And so, guys, just for a disclaimer, we are not financial advisors. So anything we say here is just based on the top of our mind. Don't take and go invest. Invest at your
Yeah.
own risk. So just had to throw that disclaimer right there. So as we mentioned, so Dogecoin is more like a quick money scheme. You just invest to make your money. Same with all these hard coins, Shina, Ibu,
I
all
say,
of them.
boy, money. Some people might think that quick money is a week or a day or a month. It's all about your own definition of how you read and understand the market. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Long term could mean a year, 10 years, 20 years for some people. It's all about how you read and understand the market. So when we say these type of terms, folks shouldn't be so quick to just be like, oh shit, I'm gonna pull out right now. Just because I said short term don't mean that it means right now. You know what I'm saying? Short term could be a year,
Exactly.
2 years. You know what I'm saying? And just depending on how you understand and read the market.
Definitely. And so, if you're a cryptocurrency investor, do you believe that the world we're moving in is moving into like 10 years from now, everyone will be using cryptocurrency like regular money?
I don't know how far off, but I know for sure in the future, sometime in some capacity, there's not going to be any more tangible money.
Right?
It's just not going to happen.
Definitely.
Not going to be any tangible money. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. Um, you can look at, man, you could just look at the way we're moving now. There's certain parts of LA, it's a lot like this on the west side, on the west coast. They don't even accept cash. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step. Cashless places, and then okay, after the cash, there's gonna be these cars. People don't want to get rid of their cars. People are already doing Apple Pay. Think about Apple Pay, how you can just touch your phone. You don't even need to have a card anymore. What is next? You know there's gonna be something next. There's always something next. You're not just gonna stay here. Human nature, humanity has never plateaued. We don't just stay. We don't just be like, okay, cool, we're good. I think we've developed far enough. We're gonna leave right here. Humanity has never done that, and
Right.
they won't do that. They won't do that until there's nothing left. Until the development becomes the destruction. So, nah.
I love that. Until the development becomes the destruction. That's very powerful. And I think that myself because, we're going too fast, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So,
Uh-huh.
so before we move to the next topic, again, guys, this is not financial advice, so take this seriously. Invest at your own risk, but we do recommend you invest in cryptocurrency, but invest at your own risk.
Sure.
So, so now, we've been talking about everything entrepreneurship, investing. It seems everything looks good, but I know in life, not everything looks good. It's like, especially with social media, we put the picture out there of what we want people to see. Most of the times, we want them to see the good life, be happy. But I want you to tell me a little bit about your struggles, right? So, a little bit about your struggle as an entrepreneur, like what makes you not sleep at night, and how do you overcome the struggles, and how do you keep yourself going?
Man, bro, you know what it is? So I've had many of struggles, bro, and the way that I get over them is just not by talking about them, man. You know, some people they do well with talking to folks and being consoled by their peers about their issues. Some do better when they just don't say anything and they just go into a different mode and they just grind it out. I've always kind of been that type of like when my back is against the wall and I have nothing else to do, I'm not gonna seek into others because I think I found that out at a young age that when you tell folks your problems, if they don't know the answer, they're not gonna say, "Hey, I don't know the answer, but you should figure it out." They're gonna more so say, "Man, yeah, that do sound fucked up. I don't know what you're gonna do." They're gonna add on to that feeling of depression, being lost, not not being motivated. They're gonna add on to that. And most people aren't on your journey.
Right.
So you can't share your traumatic situations and your losses and your downs with other people because they're not on that journey with you. So what type of advice do you expect for them to give you, right? So what I do is I usually just tune out and I pray, man. I'm a firm believer in God. I'm a firm believer in the spirit. I'm a good person. I don't wake up in the morning trying to hurt people. I don't go to sleep with thoughts of hurting people. I'm always trying to elevate the ones around me for the ones who are trying to learn, the ones who are seeking advice, the ones who want to soak up knowledge. I'll pour into them everything I know. And I use that same energy as affirmation that I'm going to be good. Because, my mom says, don't, no good deed goes unrewarded, no bad deed goes unpunished, right? Um, Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going around doing good deeds to instill my karma. I'm doing good deeds for the fact that it's the sake of it being good. But with me knowing that, I know at the end of the day that like if ever my back is against the wall, I know that I've always been moving in good faith and good favor. So I know I'm going to either prevail, or if not, that was God's will. You know what I'm saying? But I know that I'm going to prevail. I know that I'm going to do everything in my power for me to prevail. I'm going to have to literally die for me not to prevail. And if it was my time to die, then you can't even question death. You know what I'm saying? It was my time to go. Other than that, if I'm living, I'm prevailing in some manner. It doesn't matter. That's how I look at it.
And that's very powerful, man, because a lot of people like we live just to live. We live without a purpose, and I believe, especially I mean, not just entrepreneurship, anything in life, we want to have a purpose, positive affirmations, and but so what keeps you going? Because like some people will see you and be like, man, Caleb is so energetic, so positive. I want to know, were you always this positive person? Were you always this? Because there's some people, like when you talk to them, they're just pessimists, like they don't believe anything's going to go good in their life. And knowing you, the struggles you went through, were you always this positive person, like this person that just believes like I can be whatever I want to be, I want to become? Or once upon a time in your life, you used to be the kind of like in a state of depression as well. And how did you overcome that?
So I think, I ain't gonna lie, bro, and say like I've been sad, bro. I've always been a happy person, bro. Throughout all of my trials and tribulations, when I wasn't living with neither one of my parents, I didn't know where neither one of them was. I went through real hardship, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Being in jail, like real hardship, bro, as a kid, being in jail as a child, bro. And it was like, I don't know, man. I've always just, some people look at the glass half full, some people look at it as half empty. I've always been the type of person to look at the glass half full because I think that just my natural conception of life was way broader than the next man. I really did value life because I've seen life taken in front of me, like at a young age. I've seen like my aunt's boyfriend's brother. One day he was with us. The next day they all crying, mourning, saying he just got killed because he was saying. And then my aunt, I heard her saying because a week before he was saying, "Man, I just wish I was dead, man. This and that," and he was just talking crazy. And a week later, he ended up getting killed. And as a kid, that started to like conceptualize in my head, like, man, life is valuable. What you say, like everything, like you have to be very, you know what I'm saying, careful and just treat life preciously. So I never tried to soak and wallow in a dull moment of life. You know what I'm saying? If I felt the breeze blowing on my face in a nice spring day, that shit made me happy. Jumping in leaves, even when I was like 12, 11, that shit made me happy. I've always been a kid who like the simplest things can make me happy, right? I was always, that's just me personally. You already know me from like Harold Washington. Like, I was in there like cracking jokes, and I've always been that. And when I was going to school, then I was on house arrest. You know what I'm saying? I had an ankle monitor on me when I was at Harold Washington.
Mhm.
But I was happy because I used to think like, man, I could be in jail. Fuck, I could be, you know what I'm saying? Like someone else fucked up. Like I know I'm straight. And I've always had that mentality. I've always been like, man, it could be worse because I know people in worse situations. So it's like, why the fuck I'm not going, I can't wallow in nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I do try to wallow in something, it's not gonna last too long. And it's not gonna affect my progression.
Definitely. And would you say music, working out, that also helps with inspiration to you, like keeps you in that positive mode?
Oh, for sure. I think music is just like a way for me to express it all. You know, at the end of the day, music is like after I take in everything that happened in life, music is like just like that outlet for me to let myself and whoever else hears it know, you know, in a witty way how it all happened. You know what I'm saying? It's just me telling my story, like how it all happened. You know what I'm saying? And me just saying it from my perspective in a witty way. So it's just like it's not so much as like motivation. It's more so as like my own therapy. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It's more so like because my motivation comes from like me wanting to continue to live abundantly and me wanting to continue to like I like to be the person who my family can depend on, who I can send money out to my people when they need it. I like how that feels. That's the motivation. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Music is just the journal for me to say like y'all niggas don't even know how it all happened and how I felt while I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the music is for me.
right. That's very powerful, man. And so, if there's something I can take from this, you guys listening can take from this, it's humbleness. Be humble, love everyone, and I think that's the secret to a happy life. Do you agree with it?
Sure, broski.
So,
Again,
so you wear a lot of hats, man. You're a political consultant. That by itself is a lot. You're a musician. You're also a crypto investor. So, how do you manage your time? So I know you should have a lot of people trying to get your time. Like I know just getting this interview was pretty easy, but I bet you should be a very busy person. So how do you manage your time?
man, I manage my time how I want, man. Honestly, man. You know, I have a natural routine to myself that's like main priority. You know what I'm saying? That can't nobody interfere with. And then everything after that, I kind of align on a day by day basis on like how important it is, or yeah, basically just that how important it is to me and how I feel like it needs to be done. And that varies through how people act, through just do everything. You know what I'm saying? It varies, right? Like 1 minute I might prioritize one of my mans, you know what I'm saying? But if he do some crazy, wild, fugazi shit next week or 2 weeks later, he might not be that same priority when he calls me. You know what I'm saying? So it all just like I really manage my time how I want. There's some days where I don't feel like talking to nobody and I just won't pick up the phone. I'll cancel everything because
Mhm.
I need that for myself. And
Right.
that's how I stay ahead too, because it's like at the end of the day, I know I pray to God to like keep a lazy spirit off of me. But I know when it's time for me to rest. You know what I'm saying? Just mentally, spiritually, all of that. It's not like I'll cancel somebody because I'm on some lazy shit. It's because I need to really rest. You know, I
Mhm.
take care of cousins, I take care of my older cousins, I take care of my mother, my uncles, my friends. I send money to everywhere. I'm always telling somebody about some new ways how to get money, teach somebody something. I was literally just with somebody who is I was just with somebody, I was talking to him about being in my video. This model about being in my video, and I ended up taking her to one of my business meetings to get her signed up to do some whole other cryptocurrency exchange, foreign exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that's how I manage my time. I literally manage it by what's most important to me, how I want to do it in that moment. Because at the end of the day, if you're too concise on a schedule, as humans, we don't just work like that, man. One day we might tweak and just need our time to ourselves. And that day might turn into a week. That we might really just need that time to ourselves. And we can't be too depicted on just how precisely we're spending our time. Nah, man, do that shit as you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely. And so one of our last questions. So, and I ask this to everyone I interview because I had to make that decision myself when I started in entrepreneurship. So if there's a young person out there who is still trying to figure out his or her life and who is still trying to start his or her business, we advise them get into a relationship, right? So would you advise them, and this is based on your own opinion, right? So will you advise them to get into a relationship, or will you advise them that they should take time for themselves and just focus on themselves? And when things start materializing, then they can have time for someone else. What is your advice?
I say it really just depends, man. Like that question is very broad because it always depends on who you get into a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? It all depends what type of relationship you're having. You know what I'm saying? You can get into a relationship with a person who is business minded like you, who is on the same type of route as you, and it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. You know what I'm saying? You got into a relationship with your best part, with your best friend, who turned out to be your partner, who turned out to be the motherfucker who you're toasting with at the end of the day, making millions with. That's a real reality, and that happens. You know what I'm saying? And for some people, that is the best thing for them to do because some people can't think on their own. Some people might have 60% of the game plan figured out, and that partner might bring the other 40% that they needed, and boom, now we're taking off. Or you can have situations where you feel like you're heading in one direction and your partner's heading in the other direction, and it doesn't mean that they're not helpful to. I mean, it doesn't mean that. How do I want to say this? That you shouldn't be in a relationship. It just means that if you're looking for help in that relationship in your job space, then that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's detrimental because there's some relationships that can work healthy. Your woman could be in her own career, you could be in your own career, and y'all just do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even talk about work. Y'all only link up once y'all off and once y'all both have y'all free time, y'all do your thing. There's so many different scenarios on how that could work. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really, you feel me, say like if you should or shouldn't. It's all about like the situation, you know what I'm saying, and what you face to it. And you have to be able to foresee it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to look at people and just understand them and be like, all right, cool. This is who you're gonna be. And it doesn't and I don't mean that you can read everybody, but you can get an idea of how people are coming. A lot of people can say that, man, from a year, 2 years ago, man, they still knew I was gonna be somebody. They just know how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it in people. So that's what I would say about that.
That's a pretty thoughtful answer. So because I thought most people would give you a yes or no, but that was really more like a thoughtful answer. And I mean, I myself at the beginning I was like no, but with time I realized it just depends on the situation you're in. So
Yeah,
And
bro. Because on some real shit, bro, it's like, bro, it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about your mindset. Because I know one thing as a man, bro. As a man, you dictate any situation that you get yourself into because you are a man. That's with a woman. That's with other motherfuckers. That's with anything. You dictate that situation. You know what I'm saying? You have full control over how that situation will go. If either you're gonna get yourself involved, if you're not, or if you are gonna get yourself involved, what direction is that involvement gonna lead to? You know what I'm saying? It's like some niggas get into relationships and they do sneaky weird shit. And then when a girl do sneaky weird shit, they upset. But they forget, like, bro, you really like led her to this. You did this type of thing, right? Or if since we were talking about business, it's some man who will get into a relationship with a woman, say, I'm trying to build this business and that third, but they don't know how to communicate what they want that girl's role to be. They want that woman to assume she should know what her role to be. They want that woman to already know exactly how they want them. And it's like, nah, bro, you have to know how to communicate and teach this person or show this person what you mean. You feel me? So it's like, as a man, you have to understand that you hold that power. You know what I'm saying? You do have that. You hold that power to navigate every situation. Because I've dealt with people who did no shit, and 6 months after them being around me, they know how to give me some money. And I'm like, all right, cool. I know I did my job. I know I've showed you, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. You feel me? So that's what it is, man. You gotta know how you bumming.
no, that's definitely true. Like as a leader in general, you control, you decide how you want to lead your relationship or your business. So, but a lot of people, especially the young ones, it takes time. Will you say that it takes time to learn those skills? So you make mistakes. Mistakes are okay, but it takes time to learn all those skills that we just mentioned about.
Sure.
And so for those who want to get in contact with you, because definitely the people want to get in contact with you for mentorship or questions. So uh, first, what advice will you give? What final word of advice will you give to anyone who's listening to this, who wants maybe to start their own business? And secondly, how do they get in contact with you?
I would say if you want to start your own business, man, only advice I got after this, man, is if you want to just find out what your passion is, find out what your love is, and really sit down with yourself, go take a walk, go take a hike, go sit in the park somewhere, go sit in your room somewhere with nobody for 2, 3 days, 72 hours. Literally spend some time by yourself and really like literally like spend like a couple days by yourself, not talking to nobody, phone off. That's the only way. Because the first things first is you're not gonna know what you want to do by always communicating with people and having influences. You always got influences from TV, from the internet, from the people you talk to on a day-to-day basis. They telling you something hot, something not, something they like, something funny, whatever. So spend a couple of days to yourself. Turn off your phone, all of that shit, right? And find out what you want to do. After that, man, just go for a throttle, man. Go for a throttle. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever get big headed, but also understand your worth. Just pray for balance. If you don't believe in God, man, study motherfucking Darwin's motherfucking definition of balance, whatever.
Yep,
You know. But yeah, man, that's really it, man. Just be yourself, find yourself, man. Once you find yourself, then there's nothing else I have to tell you. You know, for real. Once you really keep on, and then finding yourself isn't a one type of thing. It's not like you just find yourself like, oh, cool, I'm gone. Nah, you can. It's a continual process. There's different levels to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might find the first thing that spark you into moving into your vision, and then you might go to another roadblock where you get discouraged, do some more self-healing, more self-meditating. You're gonna find yourself again on a deeper level that picks you back up and gets you continuing on to that mission. So yeah, man.
definitely.
If y'all
Like,
want to find me on Instagram, man, at I am Caleb Porter. That's I-A-M Caleb Caleb Porter Porter. Saying you gonna see me that throwing up the E's, man. You know me from over East way.
Thank you very much, guys. And I shall post the link to his Instagram on the video description. But thank you very much, Caleb. This was very inspiring. You know, like I said, I do this to inspire people, but your story itself inspired me. And as I mentioned last time, I know you from a very long time, right? I knew you before you are who you are right now. So
Oh,
we have that relationship, and I can tell you this is pretty big, and I hope you can join for a second interview again because you have a lot to share, and we want to share your story with our listeners. And if even if we just inspire one person, right? If only one person watches this video and they go start your business, then we did our job. So
for
thank
sure.
thank you very much, Caleb,
Man,
and
thank you for having me, bro. You already know.
thank you. All right, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Again, if you love it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like it, share it, and we shall talk to you next week.
Subscribe to that shit, man. Like that shit, share that shit, man, for the gang, man. Folks had
Definitely.
gang on here, man. First time, man. Wolf of Randolph, man. Oh.
Thank you, guys.